Right, so I am on by the looks of it. Okay, so what is it? How do we do? Add, right. Display capture. Okay. Okay, so now, alright, is that, okay, let's get this on. This is a wonderful start we've got going on here. Right. Boom. Okay, so I am now live. This is my first live streaming on YouTube, and what I will be doing is going through a project. It'll be a portfolio piece. This portfolio piece is something that was inspired by one of my teachers and homework specific, which I am now having a good go at. Right, okay, so I'm going to find the scene and I'm going to do breakdowns basically of this scene. So I am bringing this up here and right, okay, so this particular scene, right, I see. I've lost my place in that. I'm just going to find that. I noticed at 10 minutes 30 in of this, so give me a second. You can see that I'm gonna find right. It's oh my god, this is great. I have to say the playback on BBC's like website is not designed for mobile phones at all. Okay, guys, thank you for bearing. Yeah, okay, I've now got it right. Okay, so we're getting there now. Right, I'm almost at the spot. Yep. Okay, so right, where are we? We're going back to this software here that I'm going to use to do a quick breakdown of this scene. And we have two characters, Finelli, and we have the handler, which I don't remember them actually ever using his name, but that's not important. Alright, so first off, if I just kind of like base out the kind of background, here we go. So I'm just gonna shrink down this part here, right, and I'm just gonna add the, alright, okay, so oh well, you know, streaming live has slowed down my system so much. I may have to close the program down. Right. That line has gone not where I wanted it. Not that matters right now. We're gonna like sketch everything out. Just make so We have the handler who's coming in from the right. It's approximately a doorway that goes there. There's the wall, and there's a room, and yeah, I think using the straight line tool. Okay, so there's another door that's here. It's about there. We're gonna, because there's a further room, so I have this point actually is somewhere about there. So that's the horizon, and this can go like so. I should be drawing it like so. Right, I'm just gonna sketch it out. Within this room, and you've got like there's a sofa. It's German here, and we have our character lying fake dead on the sofa with her body kind of just sprawled out. So handlers come in. There's a glass coffee table sitting about there. It's got the drugs dispatched around there. We then have the handler who's come in, and he's kind of like hunched over a bit, kind of looking at our girl. And then right there is a table. That is somewhere around here. It's probably more. I've drawn them on the background too. Not that it matters. Okay, so that's fine. Right. Okay, so this is approximation of the first bit where he walks in. Okay, the playback on that's not so hot, so new part of scene. Okay, let's undo that. Oh shit. That's okay. Right. Alright. What we're doing is we just wanna repeat. There we go. Okay, so the next kind of part, so we can assume what he's doing is he's gonna walk in. He's now standing approximately there. It's kind of an upshot, but his eyes are there and his chin. So it's we're just going to capture the expression like that. Alright. So we can see that he's just kind of like standing there. The room. So upshot we have some basic manipulation there. There's the maybe the door, some sort of something framing that side there, and well, you can see the ceiling, kind of the I'm not sure what kind of gutters of the ceiling, not gutters. Yeah. Anywho, so yeah, that's that's that one. I'm going to try see if I can get the pausing tighter, which I can't. But what I'll do is, yeah, okay, so what we've got now, we've got a close-up. So in the close-up, the man he's moved in. I'm thinking, is it better in red? Yeah, doesn't matter. Right, so he's moved in, his body's like, and I think his opening lines are, wait, his opening lines are Vanelli, you know, in his accent. He's like saying her name, blah 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 blah. Right. So it's now moved from here to there. Yeah, you can see more of the ceiling bit. The door actually is Framingham, and I'm going to remove that over and put that into the background. Like so. Okay, so I want to give him a little bit of an expression, so he's kind of like sussing out what's going on. Oh, do I want to? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like sussing out what's going on. And then let's see what happens next. Yeah, the playback and pause sucks. Let's go on, Momo. You're right. Right, so he's now. Oh, did I not draw? What happened? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Anyway, so he's now come in real close, like, or real closer. His body is kind of hunched over as he leans in to say her name. And he basically says, "I can see you breathing." So, yeah. So his eyes are about there, and he's like now kind of like looking dead on her, kind of thing. Like, he's not so impressed with that comment. Anyway, so yeah, what happens next with this guy? This guy next is like, maybe I should write in also lines. The camera. Oh, right, actually, yeah. So if we hit the background, yes, like he's kind of framed by the door. It's a big doorway, really. Yeah. Anyway, so the next thing is, it's pretty much, he hasn't really moved so much, but the camera itself moved. So maybe we'll just have him. So he's like, yeah, his eyebrows are like, maybe a bit like that. We got him. No, we can keep him like that. The camera is still very much up shot. we're going to have that in the right area. So he's pretty much like so. I think that's the outdoor frame. And you can see a bit more. So the thing is, from there to there, how does it translate? It's higher, it comes lower, and that's because the camera is maybe more tilted upwards. I don't think that's that important, especially if I'm having to do a whole redraw anyway. So he's there for a bit of convo. Okay, so that I can basically, and the camera don't change much. So with this being what it is, I can just change his mouth and his eyes a bit. So what I do with his mouth, let's just say he's like, and his eyes are a bit more narrowed, let's say. And so what he's probably is, maybe at that point is when he's almost finished saying, I can see you breathing. So now let's see what opens up next. Actually, no, this is the point. Right. Oh, I skipped ahead. Why did I do that? Okay. Just trying to get into character. Comes in. Okay, so whichever way. Okay, great. So here we go. If I wanted to actually go back earlier from here, having seen the setup, he's like, oh, but I guess we'll just continue. So, yeah, he says it first, vanilla. Vanilla. Right, so, okay, so with this, I suppose I could have that repeated a bit. And the next from here, he's like, so he looks at her. So from his point of view, it's that scene. So what I want to do is, because that comes back to here. So, right, I'm going to basically, yep, right. I'm going to draw this in. So his head is more there. His eyebrows, like, because that's the point right here. He's like, ooh. Now he knows she's faking it. So at that point is, and his eyebrows are quite literally sitting just above, so his brow is like that, just sitting there. Right. Okay. So then we have his body is kind of going in that way. Right. Okay. So, maybe not so much, but yeah, give a bit of space. There we go. Right. So the thing is, this side here, I'm just going to go back, and there was two actions that happened. I'm going to try to draw them in. So the action that was here is her on the couch from his point of view, so his POV. Well, actually, it's not. It's our POV, but we're seeing a different side. So, like for instance, her couch. Actually, why don't I just go back and I'll find it. Playback on this is terrible. You can't do like 15 seconds or anything like that. You have to just scroll through. Okay. Okay, so there is a scene. Okay, yeah. So it's our POV, right? So it's a bit of a medium, like so her body. We just turn that off. It's distracting, right? So her body is kind of maybe not quite that shape. So I meant to draw this quite basic, but I think for understanding purposes, it kind of helps to try. Right, so her head is coming like that. It's kind of weird. So I've drawn that. Okay. Her legs can be there, from there. Arms can't really see because we have the sofa. So, and the particular sofa is like that. She's kind of sprawled, and there we go. Right. So if we followed that, okay, I'm going to take that. Cut, paste. Right. We have a door that's moved from the floor. Doorway. Big lush sofa. Right, okay, so we have a window, curtains, That window is actually probably going through there. It's a big one. Big fancy hotel. And then right here with us, we have his arms. More or less. Sounds will be there. Alright, he's just bent over, he's wearing a big old coat. His nose, eyes. So his gaze is looking at her. He's not that big, but he is taking up that much part of the frame, so maybe yes. And the fact that she in the sofa just needs to take up scene. Right, okay. I think that answers that. And then with this next one, his arm comes into view. Maybe it's not so big. Let's put... So his hand is there, and basically he's kind of just moving it about because he's onto her. And with that, we're going to this is a bit tricky, I think, because I got the couch in the wrong. Right, let me see if I can move the couch into a different. Make it into the background, maybe. You know, her head. Continue. No, that part's right. The chin part is what's wrong. Okay, going to just change because her eyes are. That's not where her nose is. Her nose is more central there. Blip. Okay, so yeah, I would have to probably. Okay, so hand is meant to be moving. Thing is, I can't separate the two, so I'm going to remove her for now. Let's cut that. Taking his hand away. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to. So this is me just kind of troubleshooting stuff. I'm going to get things to work. So we know there. I'm just going to take. Don't need that. Just need. Yep. All right. So yeah, there's lots of little bits that is happening right now. If you can get to grips with that. Right, and then what I'll do is I'm going to. Nope. Yep. Okay. No. Right. Okay. So, what's just happened is, oh yeah, the face thing. Well, her face technically shouldn't move, but that's fine right there. All right. So he's like, I'm on to you. He does finger waving because he's pointing because he says, I can see you breathing. Oh, BBC, your playback is so bad. Yeah, he points. So he points. I can see you breathing. And yeah, so this one here. And well, let's get the door because he's moved. So the door is. Oops. It's not like that. It's more. It's too much. Okay. That's too much. I'm in the wrong area as well. Let's cut that, put that there, paste it in. Okay, cool. So we know there's still the door. He's like, I can see you breathing. First one. Right, I'm going to just take that, cut. She's there. And we're good. Right, back to here. And the thing is with this one, he's like, he's moving. Yeah, alright. There's small little like kind of like movement. But we're also going to have some mouth movement too. So earlier he was slightly happier. Now he's just a bit like. Actually, his whole thing is. Can we turn it around? He's not overly unhappy there. I don't know. Why don't we change it to a slightly less happy kind of tone? Am I able to flatten it out a bit? Make it smaller. So you're breathing, and then it's back to here. And with this one, yeah. Do I want to move his eyebrows with it? I think I do. I think there's some movement. So at first he's like that, like this. Gonna have some eyebrow movement. Like this. And we just like kind of set them more heavy on top. So when he sees through it, until then. Okay, so this is the basic kind of, yeah, kind of works. Right. Playing on through. So he's like that. Right, yes, and his whole head actually goes somewhat. Kind of sinks in. Eyes, a little more narrowed in. It then cuts back, so as it cuts back, I'm going to reuse, it cuts back and he's bending over for us. But I'm going to reuse this scene right here, so thumbnails. I'm just going to move that across. I mean, this is their choice, and it's pretty cool. So when I redo the shot, maybe I'll use the same, maybe I won't. It's I don't know. I don't know yet. Okay, so right, and okay, so it's gone back to there. That's done. There's some lingering, and then she jumps out. Ah! the screen. So, okay. So, I'm gonna make a note saying, oh, yeah, there's a bit of pause. So for this, I'm gonna have him edge closer. Like, it's gonna come down. And again, maybe edge just a tiny bit closer. So, and then she's gonna be like animated. So she's gonna leap up. How can I do that? I can redraw this whole bit. Let's delete that. Oh, wow. Okay, and now I'm going to take this couch, I'm going to throw it into the background. Okay, that's where it should be. Okay, now I didn't like that little tweet. That's better. And then we got her. Yeah, I didn't like that either. That's we're gonna give it a large mouth for shouting. Alright, so yeah. What is it? That I do not need. Okay. And then with his reaction, it's a simple case. Oh, I'm in the wrong. Oh, damn it! I drew her in the wrong. Drew in the background. That really blows. Right. Okay. Let's take all of this with me. Cut. Okay. So, right. Now let's get our handler and call him like he went in. And then he's going to be thrown back like, whoa. And then it cuts into right, so let's get that doorway. So we've got that, we've got the door coming here. La 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 la. We've got our big Russian handler and he's like, upright. Oh, and he's like, ah! She really got him. You can see his lower teeth. And his eyebrows are highly raised. They're highly raised. And his eyes are like, what? Widely open. And he's just like, we don't want that. He's just gawking. He's like, and let's get rid of that. So yeah, these are pretty terrible drawings, but that's okay. That's what this part is. It's the thumbnailing kind of breakdown, terrible. His forehead. Whoa, whoa there. Right. So yeah. All right. So he's like that. Next up, what do we got? So that doorway. Well, that's how I imagine he's like screaming. Oh, okay. And there's the arm. So shoulder, arm. That's not important. All right. So I think his head actually is more like that, while his body is kind of upright. And his neck would be like coming there. So he's just made this huge movement from there to there. It's like standing up. Wow. Okay. Gonna get rid of that arrow. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Right, so we have setting, he's walked in, gave him no arms. Keeping his arms by his side. I might actually draw a fourth part there anyway. He walks, he looks, oh, he looks a bit sad. And then he looks closer, and then he's like, huh? He notices, you're still breathing. I see you're still breathing. So he's got her, got you. Ha 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 ha. Da 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 da. He's like, oh, is she still playing along? He starts looking closer, waiting, waiting. Ah! Jumps back. Might have that just from, or that would have to be a really quick kind of moment. I don't know. See how that goes. The screaming continues, but he almost like literally walks away. So the camera moves with this one. So it's now kind of eye level. Just gonna hide that for a bit. Looking at his head, he's like, what do I wanna do with this? Let's delete this side. He's still screaming kind of thing in this particular framing point. I'm gonna have that on, and he's gonna kind of be like facing there, but he can't look away. Oop, that eye. Yeah. We're going to say we can have his front teeth, tiny bit of his lower ones. And in all honesty, I want to move him all centered that way. Okay. That's great, you can just separate each element. Right, so he's like, oh, okay. So if I killed that, you can just see. And maybe I might just move his body a bit as well. So he goes away with that's a bit odd. Let's undo that. Okay, we didn't like that. Make his head a bit smaller. No. His body. Essentially, yeah. Okay. So let's see. Can't change that, but I can change. So his shoulder. We'll make it there. So now this part here, I remove this arm there. We have a body turn. Whee! Cool. So now I've moved his whole body. So he's that way. Right. So from there, we now have the next part where he's like, we're going to delete all of this. Boop. Boop. And he says, "You got me." Okay, so he's got his hand like near his heart. He's like, oof. You know, he got a scare out of that one. Jump. You can tell by his body language. The acting he's given, it gave him a scare. So now he's he's calming down a bit, but his heart is still a little bit yeah. All right. So we've come there. He's like, yeah, yeah. Oh, maybe he hasn't got that quite mouth. So let's change that to. Whoop. But maybe not so big. Maybe a little bit smaller. Yeah. All right. That's That's a little bit better. There we go. Okay, cool. So his next movement. Oh, he walks away. Right, so there's a tiny bit of a grin. I guess he must be a little bit happy. So if I have him like stepping kind of away. We want to have that like he's maybe. So what I'll do is gradually. All right. So with this one, it's going to be a slight change. So and then the next one, I'm going to have him like move faster, way his eyebrows. Yeah. So there is a small kind of shock. Oh, maybe his mouth should be a bit more, just a tiny bit. Yeah, it's like yeah. Okay, that's cool. And then it cuts. It cut to him, and then it moved on to her. So we we wanted to. We can just remove that. It's a whole different. It's a whole different background, which I can't see at the moment. So with it's him. Oh, it's him, and he's more like kind of centered again. And he's like kind of sigh of relief kind of thing. Put his more head on. So we're gonna try and move his features. Let's yeah, so we're gonna make the changes that what we want here. We'll have and he's actually so it's there and maybe he's turning away so I'll have that appear like that, this part more there, shorten this, yeah, and bring it in a bit. Alright, so with that editing, let's just see how that. And what I actually need is background to actually make it look like. So maybe I need I need the scene just before. So so Yeah, and then it cuts. Okay, so it cuts back to. Oh, we don't want that. We want still here. We want this shot here. So we're gonna for this part. I'm gonna reuse the whole lot. Okay. Thumbnail. Can I move it over? Move it over. Okay. So now it's not so much that she's actually. It's pretty much. It's very similar. Shot apart from her facial expressions. Now, she's like the opposite of like that. She's like more like jovial, and she's like, I got you," and she's this arm. Well, that can change. Obviously, the arm can change, and so what we have is her holding the bottle of vodka. Wow, pretty much bottle of vodka. Should be a little bit more better looking than that. Okay. So it's in her hands. Da da da. A thumb. Something like that. Okay, so maybe her shoulders shouldn't be so high up right now, or at least her head should be more like. What is that? That was part of the sofa. I got more part of the sofa. Okay. Don't need that. Don't need that. Or that. That. Right, she is. Okay. Okay, I see why. So probably the other side, I just need to increase that as well because like she jumped up. Just didn't notice it so much before. Okay, her arms. Let's put it all in there. Alright. Okay, so we've got her arms going in like so. Yeah, I think the shot is similar but also very different. Lots of lines I don't need. Okay, and this arm is supporting her upright. Okay. This body line should actually be there. So should the arms. Anyway, this is all kind of roughs up a bit. And give her hair. It's no big deal, but she has hair. It's all going to be redrawn anyway. With our large Russian handler, he is still clutching onto the hot-ish area where he feel the jump. Okay, that looked really bad, but I'm just like going through this really quick. The actual sort of like feels more like that. It's like that, and right, and so that's the kind of thing. Is that? No, we don't need. Let's just delete that. That's weird. Okay, we'll keep that. Hair we don't need. Oop. A little bit too pleasing. Don't know. Right. Eyes. Yeah, I know. It wasn't so hot. Right, so as you know, this is just part one. This is just like the process. She's super happy. You can see her teeth. They're all showing. Yeah, I've made her look pretty terrible. That's okay. I do not. Okay, so let's see. So from here, wait, where's I have the? So with this shot here, we're going to enlarge and I have no idea some of the lines, spurious lines I added. Okay. And yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to copy, and I'm going to take what's there, delete it, and yeah, it's from the sofa, wasn't it? Okay. Blah. Right, so yeah, that gives the idea. He's like, oh, yeah, you got me. And she's like, I got you, blah, 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 blah. So far, that's great. The next part we are doing. So he's still like feeling the burn from that prank, and he's like drifting off cam. I can actually delete her. She's like moving a lot. Gonna redraw. Okay. So with her now, she's now moving. She's super happy. Oh, that was an autofill I've got programmed in. She's like super happy that she got him, and she knows it. Right. She's still leaning forward. legs. Just now load this arm and the bottle. This arm, she now is moving. What is it, towards her body more? She's like taking it from there. Sounds really. She's wearing like a kimono, or a dressing gown. So okay, so the next scene is, well, it's not next scene. Sorry, the next frame is he's now well, he's now not so seen. He's kind of blurry. She's now moved more, so I'm going to delete that. And from, oh, yeah, I needed that. She's like still super happy. Oh, autofill, come on. Her eyebrows are raised, her eyes are closed, and she's leaning actually over this way, as I think she is now kind of getting up. Okay, so still leaning forward, body's over there. Legs. So about right, yeah, okay. So you can't really see because of the couch. Right, okay, so she is actually more leaning forward, so okay, I didn't have that properly fully selected. Right, let me try that again. So this arm anyway needs to be there. Okay, this kind of joined. Oh, I didn't like that. Didn't like the look of that, so I'm going to move it, and this part here gonna have to just erase and draw through. Okay. Right, did I make her move forward yet? Not enough. Right, okay, so there's that. Let's see how that. Yeah. So Okay, right. Let's see how this all transpires. I think I got that too big on my options. Alright. Da 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 da. Right, okay. So that okay, so she's now like kind of I see what's happening. Right, so yeah, she's now after him saying, I got you, and they are moving, so he's like slowly like drifting off camera and she's almost like in pursuit. So well, pretty much she's in pursuit. Yeah, so as he leaves she's getting up. And she's pretty much the same-ish, same kind of overall expression. That she got him. And I think she mentions it a number of times. Yep. So yeah, from the couch is maybe the door is slightly. Hold on. Did I not? Oh, I know what I didn't do. I've hidden. Okay. The doorway is there, so in the horizon is going to be somewhere around there. So okay, let me just. Okay. And right. Yeah. So these are really bad drawings, but I cannot explain. Oh, no, they are bad. Right. I think I'll have. No, that's fine. I'll have a shoulder and a shoulder here. Shoulder here. I'll have higher up, like off still. Okay. And then we have her kind of now. She's more kind of like still facing. Reminds me of like the troll thing from the internet. It's funny. Yeah, because she's like gloating that she got him. Yep. Alright. So now she's like moved. Oh, this is cut, paste. Right. So she's moved from scene to scene. Scene to scene? I don't know, she's moved from location, same location, just moved around the room. You can still see her teeth. She be trolling it. Let's just delete that. And that's the thing, because she's not actually that she's still getting up. Is that right? She's still kind of stalking him at that point. Yeah, and she's wearing her bathrobe, so okay. What happens next? He sits down, so and she approaches. Alright, so with that, at some point he sits down. He has his ears here, so back of his head is off. Got a bit closer, so that's kind of his chin is. Maybe it's not so much like that. It's more he's quite low on because he's now taking a seat. She's now taking up most screen, gloating. I got you, I got you, I got you. That's her hair. Not drawing her hair yet. He's not ready. He's got those mixes with his beard. Alright, so he's like pointing, I got you. Gloating. Yeah, I know, her finger. It's mahusive. Her thumb. And her finger. It's not so. Not such a big deal. We'll sort it out. She's like, hey. I got you. I know, it's a little bit freaky, isn't it? Let's get rid of that. Get rid of that. And that. I made it to a skull. Let's make it to a friendlier face. Ooh. Oh. No. Just gonna make it round for now. And bring in. Bring it in. He's actually looking at her, so forehead and his cheek and his nose. Just so we can see that there he is looking at her and his face is slightly off. Wrong. There we go. His head shouldn't be so flat. Anyway, we're going to change him. We're going to change him into a different character altogether. And I think, where are we now with this? She obviously gets him closer. Her brain gets bigger. And her eyes change to boop, boop, boop. Got you, got you, got you, got you. Tiny bit, she says. And he's cuts to him, and he's sitting down now. And he's this thing is yeah, his farm is oh. It's you got me like a tiny bit. This and it's he's yeah, you got me a tiny bit. We can just load. Yeah. The fun you can have. Right. So his shoulders, we're just gonna drop him down a bit with his And we're going to just like, yeah man, that be your hand. We'll just leave that there. In fact, we don't even want that. We don't want that. And it's too high up. So we're going to have it about eye level. That's an additional line we do not need. There we go. He's wearing that big jacket. And the shoulders here. So, going to reposition him slightly. So much. How about we have... Oh, let's get rid of that. That line we did not need. That one. That one's enough. So it's like... Oh, sorry, just too funny moving that around. Right, okay. So he's like, yeah, me a tiny bit. Just do a bit of background, just a tiny bit. So just a tiny bit. Okay, so we're actually I'm going to click that. I didn't like it at the end. So there is a frame, a window frame. Got curtains, just there, and there, and we've got the shelf. That's proceeding that way. You got things on it, whatever they are, junk. You can't really see it, it's all blurred. It's not even necessary then. Pop, pop, pop. You know, behind him is a wall, and this is like some sort of like cabinet sort of thing. Yeah, anyway, let's just see so far. So I need to reduce it down so I can just take us all through it. Da 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 da. Oh, you got me here. I got you, I got you, I got you. Blah 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 blah. See, tiny bit. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, I suppose I should like. That was really bad, actually. Let's undo that. I'll need to like really draw in his fingers. Really. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, so that scene is like pretty much. There's a number of things, and what he's doing is he moves his hand. It's one. It's just like. Again, the same, and it's like, you know, pulls it back. we just say move this way, and here's so then just so I get the idea. It's like, yeah, a tiny bit. Yeah, you get me a tiny bit. And maybe within it we'll like move the thumbs in. Yeah, so like that. What I can do is I will select. I mean, I can do this like during the story editing kind of side. Yeah. So okay. So when looking back, it would be like, I got you, and it's like a tiny bit. Right. Okay. The scene change and she's scene change. Keep saying that sequence. So she's like, oh, let me just clear that. Right. So she's like, ah, no, I see. So actually, it's cut back to one scene that we already done. So this one here, we're gonna duplicate the whole thing. We're gonna move it on yonder. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, so that was a bit frustrating. So let me find what happened there. So this one. Yeah, it didn't move. That's frustrating. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, there. Boom. That worked. Right. So it's back to this scene here. His head is less there feeling shame. I guess he's small like that. Kind of. Yeah, William. It's a bit more like that. Shoulders still coming off there. Her hands are no longer there gloating. And she's actually framed in the doorway. So what I'll do is I'll just draw the kind of framing. Hopefully it should be there. There's the door. The door actually ends before its face. So maybe the door's there to there. And I'm going to remove the additional lines. That's the door. Got that kind of frame sort of thing going on. Say there's a basic horizons about there, or whatever. We've got everything, kind of the room. Stuff like that. Okay, all that. So let's see. These into the next room. Behind. Just going to remove that. I'm going to move Move the character, move her about there. Her whole ding, ding, it's changed. She's a little bit further back, she's no longer as close. She's approximately, yep, in the doorway, about there. That's great. Her ears and eyebrows are very different now. She's still glowing, but in a different way. She's like, maybe the grin is a bit small. It's like kind of, yeah. Seems like she plays pranks on him all the time. Kind of thing. Not sure what's happening with her arm, but it's like fully stretched out. So I guess when I make the changes, I can decide what I'm going to do with it. Let me just have another quick closer look. Oh no. Okay, so that's just the sleeve from her gown that drapes that way. I don't really need that. What's actually happening is her arm is trapped from here and is moving there. So I guess she's put her arm down after pointing. Yeah, her neck, gown, sort of thing, whatever. Yeah. Just to remove that. Boom. There. So I think I'm not going to do much more because that's quite a long sequence. Oh, I lost my place. That really. Okay. I've gone too far. Okay, I'm going to. So what she does is next, she kind of like slinks back, ready to kind of almost turn away before it cuts to the next. So I guess so. She would be kind of backing away. This would be coming closer to us, sort of rather. This side of her would be more like that, but at the same time coming away. Just getting towards the door. I think she'll feel it more. I know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Yeah. Anyway. So, I think that's where I'm going to end it today. Thank you very much. Boom. End you there. And alright, so on the tube, what are we doing? Right, okay, so you can't use, yeah, cool. I think it is time to save. I'm just going to bring it through. So, what we've covered today. Oh, system's a bit slow trying to catch up with going live. Right, okay, so we will end it there. Thank you all for watching, and time to end the stream. Just figure out how we do that. Da da da. Okay, so